let's start off with. I mean, this is hot off the press, so let's talk about it, AJ. Let's discuss Blade, shall we? This. I feel like Blade is like a unicorn at this point. I feel like it's this movie that we're just never quite gonna get. Um, but who knows? We might be getting it. So here's the full story. So as we know, Blade has been at this point, it's been shuffled around, it's been scrapped, it's been rewritten. I believe Mahershala Ali was 28 when this movie was originally announced.
You're booking the set.
Not that he looks much older than that now, to his credit, but I mean, I think he's now 49 or something. So this movie's been announced for a while. Like, we're punching for Black Adam announcement territory at this point with Blade. But it seems that after having gone back to the drawing board and scrapped the first script, somehow managing to keep Mahershala Ali on board, who, by the way, nearly walked away from this movie when it was revealed that Blade was going to be a fourth level character.
Where he's the title character of the movie, right? Where does
quite. I think this is why they rewrote it. But now it seems fans are getting what they want because Blade is coming and it's getting an R rating, confirms the director. Here is the full story. So Marvel's Blade now heading for R rating. So Blade fans can remain calm as their wish for a dark and bloody return of the Daywalker has been granted. Director Yann Demange confirms that Marvel Studios has approved an R rating for the movie, something many believed was imperative for the character and his story. One of the biggest concerns voiced by fans of characters like Deadpool and Blade when Disney bought Fox was that the House of Mouse would not respect the violent nature of their comic book iterations. Fortunately, after seeing the enormous success of the first two installments of Ryan Reynolds' adventures as the Merc with a Mouth, the studio decided to continue down the same path, and it seems that Blade will also now follow that lead. The director says they gave me the R, which is so important. I come out of this wanting to be more open, more vulnerable, and bring a more personal aspect to my work. But for Blade, we are going to have fun because Mahershala is such a deep actor. I don't know what that means, but okay. I'm excited to show a kind of ruthlessness, a roughness he has that allows him to walk the earth in a particular way. I love him for that. He's got a dignity and integrity, but there is a ferocity that he usually keeps under the surface. I want to unleash that and put that on screen. AJ, Blade's coming. So we've been told for a long time. What do you think of Blade seemingly being around the corner now and it getting an R rating?
It's so funny because it's more the fact that we heard he was on the way out that bugs me than the R rating. Like, I get it, but what I want everyone to really pay attention to at this moment is that don't expect Blade in the MCU. Right, that canon is going to be a complete different arc. I think this is what we're going to see. Stuff like your Deadpools and your Blade are going to be very Marvel Studios. Marvel Studios and MCU. I know it sounds stupid because they're both owned by Disney. Are going to be two very separate entities. And then somewhere in the far distant galaxy is the Spider-Verse owned by Sony. But this is what I think. So it's going to be interesting. I'm very much leaning into your territory now of when will it happen and will it happen. But I feel that us hearing he was going to leave and is now back and we've rewritten the script is giving us a beacon of hope. I just hope they can honor the legacy because Wesley done a lot for Blade and that needs to continue more than anything. That's what I'm really hoping for.
Yeah, it's not often this happens, dude. I'm actually going to disagree with you on this one. I think you will see Blade in the MCU. The thing is, with Deadpool, you could do things like bleep him, but that would get very old very quickly, even by Deadpool standards. When you're doing an isolated, singular focused Deadpool movie, the idea of bleeping him would be interesting. But when you've got, an ensemble movie, which he would feature in, this constant swearing being bleeped would actually be a massive distraction, to the wider story. Blade, listen, it's not often I say that it's imperative that a certain character or movie gets an R rating. I think there's this There's this huge stigma about R rating. R rating automatically makes it better. R rating just means boobies and blood and some swearing. That's literally what R rating is. And you'd be surprised how much you can get away with an R rating. Doubt me? I direct you to the first Venom movie. My man, Big V, was literally biting people's heads off. Like, they got away with a lot of violence for what was a PG-13 movie in there. There was just no blood. Okay. Blade as a vampire, like we saw what's
Kind of required, right?
So, like when you don't have blood in a vampire movie, you get Morbius, and it just doesn't work. So, Blade is one of the very Lobo would be another example. If you do anything but an R rating for Lobo, you flopped. But Blade is one of the very few characters which do require an R rating, but interestingly, I also think he's a character who could transition where required seamlessly away from an R rating. Like if you put Blade, I don't know, say fighting a Chitauri army. Not that I could ever see that, but I'm saying, for example,
I get where you're going.
I don't need to see Chitauri blood. I'm cool if you just have Blade slicing and dicing people up. That would be fine. Do I like your idea of having him kind of in his own existing R-rated universe? Sure, but you got to remember, ending of Eternals happened. Blade's already in the MCU. It's a thing already.
This was the one thing I thought of when you said you disagreed. Is that there is? Here's the thing with this Marvel studio. I believe we could be in an element where it's there, but there's a certain different level of attraction because in that as well falls good old Matt Murdock and the Punisher because there are elements. Daredevil cannot fit in an MCU world based off of the violence that's there, and it's a different attraction. You know, you can't, especially where there are parental locks on Disney Plus, but you know, you can't feel like, oh, that hero's really cool. Let me go and see what else he's into. You are not ready for what Daredevil, Blade, and Deadpool have got to give you. So you can only give a small dose, and yes, it then does rely on a parent to do it. But I think that's the thing is that I think we can have MCU and MCU mature. Because yes, they're going to be involved in that universe, and some bits can be dumbed down, but there are other bits where, yeah, they're going to have to be them.
Yeah, I mean, Daredevil's another great example of something that's being rewritten at the moment because they clearly weren't happy with it. I'd be interested to see a more mature. That you don't even need to do an ensemble. I don't need to see a mature universe where you've got the likes of Daredevil, freaking Carnage or Blade or whoever running around, and then they have a big R-rated ensemble. I don't need that. It's okay. The Batman with Robert Pattinson showed that it's okay to make standalone movies. People are not dumb. People can have an understanding of just absorbing a movie for what it is without necessarily needing any connectivity to a wider story. Problem in Blade's case is that he's already been introduced to the wider story.
I agree, but I know it wasn't a fan favorite for a lot of people. I didn't mind that link up that happened on Netflix. I didn't mind it. I can't remember what they were called.
Oh, with
I want to call them Heroes for Hire
and Luke Cage and why the Defenders?
Defenders. Yeah, I didn't mind it. Now, if the MCU were to now manage that, something under Feige, you might be enjoying what you're seeing.
Feige spread too thin. Phase 4 showed that. Leave Kevin alone. We need 2 movies a year and no series. Oh, by the way, on that note, Loki season 2 sucks. What is this fake hype about?
I haven't even started. I don't even have an interest at this point.
Oh my god, the snooze fest stream. Oh my god, the snooze fest. It's like, kill me where I stand right now. Like, I do not care about what's going on in this series. Anyway, that aside, that's our thoughts on Blade. What do you guys think? Do you think it's good that it gets an R rating? Do you see Blade in a wider MCU world? Do you see him as a separate entity? Let us know your thoughts down below.